Chapter 77, Raymaurice Report. Suddenly barged in exclaiming something. What did you say? Should have I respond thus? Raymaurice is running pointing at me. Behind her, Beretta is politely closing the door. I somehow felt the need to praise his efforts. And running at me, I felt that Raymaurice was brandishing something. Suddenly, a being, Diablo, dressed in fine clothes blocked her way. He had been quietly observing the conference from the end of the table until now, but he could not have permitted the intruder to act as they pleased. How should I say this? Raymaurice was quickly restrained. While struggling to get free. Wait. What are you doing? She said. What a pleasant person. Though I don't feel a shred of a demon lord's dignity from her, she is nonetheless a pleasant person. Rimuru-sama, I have restrained a suspicious individual. How should I proceed? She was screaming some foolishness regarding the city's demise. Should I dispose of her? Diablo came up to me and politely asked. Gee, I can't run away even using all my power? This guy. He's no small fry, is he? What? I asked, what is going on? What did I do? As always, she's damn noisy. Frankly, for her to run away from Diablo, who has twice as much magic power as she, is nigh on impossible. So this is a demon lord, huh? Somehow, the reason I think demon lords are small fry may be completely her fault. Rimuru-sama, are you this fairy's acquaintance? Fuse asked. The conference came to a halt again. Couldn't she have barged in a bit later? Her inability to read the mood hasn't changed in the slightest. Yeah, the fairy Raymaurice is indeed my acquaintance. She's also one of the demon lord's kind, sort of. Or at least claims to be. Hey! What do you mean claims to be? I am feared as the strongest among the 10 great demon lords. The great Raymaurice of the labyrinth is none other than me. She proudly exclaimed from within Diablo's restraints. It seems that she is completely oblivious to her completely lack of a presence. Huh? A demon lord? This thing? The gathered replied, completely in line with my predictions. Eh? What? Shouldn't you be more surprised? I'm a demon lord, you know. What's with that bored glance? No. Even if you claim to be one, you have been captured. Maybe they are all just relaxed as a result. Is what I thought, but... Nah. I mean, Rimuru-dano is a demon lord as well, so I expected him to have a few demon lord acquaintances. At this point, after being scared half to death by Veldora's rebirth, these mundane declarations can hardly surprise me. They are looking at each other and nodding. I see, now that I think about it, that makes sense. In contrast to them. Veldora's rebirth? Aren't you all loony? Veldora's a small fry that I could have handled with a single punch. Hardly a guy to discuss. Well, his era is now over, you see. If you must fear somebody, fear me instead. She said while laughing loudly. If anything, talking would be her strong point. So I had her released and brought to Veldora's place. Sorry Veldora, but could you fight her for a bit? She is a demon lord, so she won't die from your aura. Sorry, I'm currently busy solving a great mystery. The culprit is Yasu. Solved, right? So I leave her with you. I left these parting words and returned to my seat. Veldora opened his eyes wide, making a shocked face that screamed at, "Why did you have to spoil who the culprit is?" As for Raymaurice, upon seeing Veldora, she immediately fainted. And silence returned to the room. Having shut both of the troubled children up, we decided to conclude the conference there. In the end, we decided to release the king and have Marquis Mila and Count Herman seek liability. And we'll have Yomu jump on the opportunity. The Dwarf Kingdom, as a result of our recent victory, has declared the intent to form diplomatic relations with us. Sorcerer's dynasty Sarian has also decided to openly recognize Tempest as a sovereign state. And, once we build a highway leading to it, they will also pursue diplomacy with us. These two countries are not influenced by the Western Saint Church, so they can openly do so. Thus, Brimond Kingdom is the only remaining problem. It'd be great if we could say farewell to the church. But I doubt the council will silently accept this. And that's what causing the most pain. But, no matter which they choose, they'll get caught up in a conflict. I'll somehow persuade the top brass. When I do, we'll also seek diplomatic relations with you. You would accept it, right? He stressed the point. Of course we would, though. Even from the perspective of profit and loss alone, Tempest, a country recognized by two of the strongest nations, military state Dwargon and Sorcerer's dynasty Sarian. So surely they would be overjoyed at the chance of establishing diplomacy with us. But, if compared to sticking with all the council member states, it's unclear which way the scales will tip. I know the answer. At the moment, sticking with the council will be more profitable. However, within 10 years, we shall be at least their equal, and, after 20, we shall leave them in the dust. Such is the definitive prediction made by Raphael by analyzing the available data. But I will not tell them this. They must choose for themselves, you see. Thus, our current problem is the Western Saint Church. We predict an inevitable clash with not only the Western Saint Church but also the Holy Kingdom Rubarium. And that's a big problem. I mean, we need to win and display our usefulness in cooperation. So it's not like these problems will be easily resolved. Right now, everything depends on our actions. Thus ended the conference of various states with various expectations. This sudden meeting shall go down in history as an important turning point. Of course, we could not have known that at the time. In the middle of tidying up after the conference, I got the feeling that I was forgetting something. Ah, you. What is this? What the hell is this all about? Something noisy came. I remembered. She had come over. Her face full of tears, clearly seeking respite. It can't be helped. She fainted from seeing Veldora, and upon awakening was guided into the world of manga, so, without even noticing that the conference had come to an end, she's been hitting it off with Veldora the whole time. Noticing that everybody was moving around, she remembered her original objective in a panic. She is a very carefree individual, so I don't expect anything important to come from her lips anyways. But, upon hearing her words, the foreigner guests stopped their departure preparations. And remembering the existence known as Raymaries, they again returned to their seats. Pleased with the sight, she arched her back, emphasizing her pitiful chest. And I'll say it again. The Tempest country shall fall. She declared. What did you say? Read in monotone. I ask as a kind of Azuchi. Fu fun. Well, it's not like I wish for such an outcome. So, be grateful that I have come all the way to deliver this report. Her words have become very condescending. Playing along will only prolong this, so let's get to the point. So, why will we fall? She turned serious upon hearing these words and looked over the gathered officials once. And after a little thought. Well, it's not like this doesn't concern humans, so okay. Listen up. By Demon Lord Clayman's proposal, the Demon Lords shall hold the Walpurgis banquet. Supporting him are Demon Lords Frey and Milim. As it was proposed by 3 Demon Lords, it has been accepted. An invitation has reached me as well. The discussion at the banquet is avenging the murder of Demon Lord Carrion. And the culprit has been named as the presumptuous idiot who called themselves a Demon Lord Rimuru. Did you, by any chance, call yourself one? She asked with a serious face completely benefiting the aloof Raymaries. The gathered trembled at her words. Seems like it was a serious matter after all. By the way, who's Demon Lord Carrion? I don't remember fighting him, though? It is true that I have called myself a Demon Lord, but I don't know anything about Demon Lord Carrion's murder. Wait a minute. Is it true that Carrion-sama has been murdered? Interrupting my words, Grusius barged into the conversation. Could he be Carrion's subordinate? Demon Lord Raymaurice, please answer me. Has Carrion-sama truly fallen? Wait a second. Can you please not barge in while people are talking? But, whatever. It does seem that Rimuru did not kill him, so there's some evil ploy unfolding here. 'Tis time for the great detective Raymaurice, right? At this point, the one who announced it is the most suspicious. In other words, the culprit is Demon Lord Clayman. Completely ignoring Grusius' words, she jumped straight to the conclusion. However, though it pains me to no end, her conclusion is affirmed by Wisdom King Raphael. As for her, she's just reciting the line she read from a manga a second ago. Hey, I also agree with that hypothesis, but please answer Grusius' question. Has Demon Lord Carrion truly been defeated? The gathered fell silent, awaiting her response. For these large countries, it's a big deal if a Demon Lord gets defeated. It signifies the loss of balance among the Demon Lords. But Raymaurice is unconcerned with such matters, without a care. Huh? I don't know. That's the contents of the invitation sent to me? She nonchalantly replied. She's a kid after all. Though I guess it's good enough that she bothered to come to let us know. So, for what purpose did you let us know this? Oh, the thing is, I was worried thinking what would happen to Beretta if you died. So, deciding to become your ally, I came over. Which is why I'll create an entrance to my labyrinth here, okay? Hey, why are you discussing it all at once? What do you mean an entrance to your labyrinth? I'm grateful for the warning, but this is a separate matter. And aren't you treating Beretta like your own thing already? Isn't it fine? Don't worry about the small things. More importantly, Beretta wanted to say hi. Come over here. Without listening to others at all, she just says whatever she feels like saying. Feels like the conversation came to a close. What a ridiculously free-willed individual she is. Anyways, we decided to disperse. Not like we'd get any more information out of Raymaurice anyways. Promising to let our guests know should any new information arrive, they left satisfied. And, the conference being over, we made preparations for their leave. Well, for the Dwarf Kingdom, we only had to cut the connection, though. As for Fuse, he'll rest a day here and then return to Brimond. Duke Ilalud wanted to talk with his daughter more, so he'll be spending a few days. It was truly an impromptu conference, but many important individuals gathered. And though we had a selfish fairy barging on us, I judged the conference a fruitful one. Thus our impromptu conference came to a close. Now then, after switching rooms, I had gathered the departments. Along with Yomu, Malin, and Grusius. Though we are using the small conference room, we were all able to find a seat. According to what Fuse has gathered, Walpurgis Banquest is a night where all the demon lords gather. 3 voices are need to schedule it, a gathering of truly powerful individuals. Absentees have to be prepared to face severe consequences, as this is a covenant established between all the selfish demon lords. In the first place, these happen really rarely and are hardly mentioned in human literature. But still, the name Walpurgis Banquet is typically associated with the beginning of a great holy magic war. The last one being over 1,000 years ago and resulted in myriad casualties and great calamities. Thus, it is commonly known as the banquet that brings chaos and destruction into the lands. Their current target is Rimuru Dana, so you best be prepared. Worst case scenario, you will have 8 demon lords as enemies. That's if we trust Demon Lord Raymaurice's words, that is. Fuse said, worrying for me. Well, I'll do something about it, I said to reassure him. Being hunted by demon lords, though. Cut me some slack. Thus, I decided to hold a countermeasures meeting. Now then, I understand that it feels like we are continuing the conference indefinitely, but please bear with me. We are currently gathered here regarding Lord's Walpurgis banquet. According to Raymary's report, I am their target. What do you think we should do? Anyways, I'll ask for their opinion first as I always do. Yes. Shin excitedly raised her hand. When I point at her. How about we cut down all the demon lords? Calling on an idiot. My bad. I felt a blood vessel pop on my head. Hadn't something like this happened before. Shin, how would you cut them down? Do you have a realistic opinion? She hung her head in shame upon hearing my words. However, it seems strange that Demon Lord Milim had supported the notion. Smells suspicious if you ask me. Sai pointed out. I also thought the same. Right. I can't imagine Milim-sama betraying Rimuru-sama. It's baseless intuition. But I trust my intuition. Benimaru said. I see, though he has no proof, huh? The thing is, I don't feel that I was betrayed by Milim. Wisdom King Raphael too, though he has little data regarding this, mentioned that unless there was some great change, such an outcome is impossible. I decided to believe in Milim. Kufufufufu. Well, if it comes down to fight against all the demon lords, let's just crush them. Frankly, Demon Lord Rimuru-sama alone will be enough. Shin nodded, happy that someone else agreed with her. Exactly. Isn't it wonderful to be a newcomer? He took the words right out of my mouth. They all nodded. Why has it come to this? By the looks of it, more than half are in complete agreement with Veldora. The Let's Be Careful party is composed of Gibel and Drayudo only. Everyone's raring to go, bloodlust has filled the room. Suddenly, the meeting was dominated by the war party. Wait a second, relax. Anyways, we have all agreed that Milim could not have betrayed me. So, something must have happened. As Raymaris mentioned earlier, the culprit might just be Clayman. So we should think upon what has occurred. I was successful at diverting the conversation from its dangerous course. Let's get to the main point. Right? Right? Great Detective Raymaris' intuition was spot on. In that case, shouldn't we just blow Clayman away? I see. That makes sense. Alright, I'll go and cut that guy down. Hey, wait. Relax a bit, Shin. Stop getting ready to go. Benimaru and Sai, you too. Seriously. This is not going in the direction I wanted it to. And Raymaris is getting carried away as well. By the way, why? Why do you have so many powerful devils lying around here? At this point, isn't it fine for me to have Beretta? She continued. What a troubling person. She just doesn't give up. And, noticing that my comrades are strong, she's getting carried away herself. Her selfishness knows no bound. Would it be fine? I do not believe Carrion-sama has fallen. But, would you be willing to bring me to this Walpurgis banquet? Grusius said. HMPH. I might. Only the Demon Lord and 2 to 3 escorts can attend the banquet. Individuals not involved in the banquet would be killed, you know? Raymaris responded. On that note, I thought up something I wanted to ask. Hey, can you let them know that I will be participating? Everyone's eyes focused on me. I mean, if I'm being hunted, I might as well go and meet them myself. This might also serve as a good test for the new barrier, and, worst comes to worst, I have the confidence to run away. So rather than prowling the shadows, doesn't attacking them head-on sound more fun? More importantly, I will never again let this city suffer a casualty. If you're planning on attacking my friends, you have got to be prepared for my response. Seems like I've turned into a muscle for brains as well. He's raring to go. Very well, I shall also go. With me attending, the demon lords shall know bottomless fear. Yes. If Master Volchan is going, I too will be safe. With Beretta as well, my defenses are perfect. No? I'm not planning on protecting you at all though? That's so cold. Master Volchan. And what's with this master thing? I don't know when, but they have become manga buddies. Being friends is good and all, but that feeling doesn't seem to be reciprocated. Thus, via a dedicated Demon Lord channel, Raymaris let them know that I will be participating in the banquet. What a pointlessly high-level skill it allows communication via space manipulation. While she is busy with that, Beretta came up to greet me. I congratulate you on becoming a Demon Lord. I too have received a blessing thanks to your evolution, and wish to say thanks. As a result, I have evolved from an Arc Doll into a Chaos Doll, he said, deeply bowing. He acquired unique skills and Demon Union. As a result, he nullifies essentially all physical or magical attacks, and, by combining demonic and saint powers, he evolved into a Chaos Doll. So, for example, while the Arc Doll could not have moved in the holy barrier I was trapped in, he now evolved beyond it. New spirit cores awakened within his body, and by mixing with the magic ones, they became Saint Demon ones. I really want to study him, but it's not the time for that now. Oh, as long as you're healthy. Once this incident ends, let's talk a bit. Your words are wasted on someone like me. I am looking forward to such a time. Yeah. I'm also happy that you're listening to what Raymaris is saying. Well, as long as you ignore any unreasonable orders. If anything happens during the Walpurgis banquet, I'm counting on you. Leave it to me. I will live up to your expectations. After such an exchange, Beretta sat down. Since Raymaris had only one subordinate, Grucius came along with her. Milan also wanted to settle her grudge, but Yomu stopped her. Well, her battle power is a little lacking. So Beretta and Grucius will attend along with Raymaris. While I was talking with Beretta, Shin was looking at me with a pained expression. She's bound to rampage if I don't bring her. So, I decided on Shin as one of my escorts. And, calling Ranga from within my shadow. I hope you would choose me. I will not lose to the likes of some demon lords. How reliable. So it's decided. Benimaru and Sai are disappointed, but they'll just have to get over it. There's also the job of ensuring the city's defense. Along with Gibel and Gerudo, we have a solid defense system. On a 1 in a million chance the church sends a subjugation team, I had Diablo observe the region. Destroying Templars in order to bring down the holy barrier takes priority, after all. So maybe I should leave Sai on guard duty as well. While waiting for Raymaris' response, we are busy doing menial tasks. In the end, my participation was recognized. The Demon Lords may have just thought it inconvenient to have to go all the way out here to attack. But, this presents a wonderful opportunity. I now have acquired the right to participate in Walpurgis banquet. The Demon Lords I am fated to meet Leon Cromwell and Clayman. But this time, my target is Clayman. I have not forgotten the Orc Lord incident. There's also Milan's case. And more importantly, I worry about Milim. Say your prayers. You made me your enemy. I am not so naive as to forgive my enemies. As long as you're not a beautiful girl. Chapter 78, Demon Lords. Demon Lord Clayman was in an unprecedented state of panic. The humans were guided into action as planned. The result was supposed to be a bloodbath of a battle, filled with suffering and tragedy which his soul would reap and relish. However, the battle was concluded in an instant and all the souls were absorbed by a third party. He couldn't believe it, but the recent report confirmed it. This was a stage prepared by that honorable individual. A fight between monsters and humans that would lead Clayman into awakening as a true demon lord. Thus, he hardly cared for his subordinate Milan, and planned to dispose of her soon after. But he now lost connection with her. Moreover, her curse had been released and she was now free. This fact only added to his anxiety. But only that much was hardly a matter for concern. Fortunately, he still has the strongest trump card known as Milim. Thus, he had forced Frey to schedule a subjugation council Walpurgis banquet. As it had Milim's, Frey's, and his signature on it, it was quickly approved. There he wishes to call for an extermination of the presumptuous slime who dared to call itself a demon lord and its city. Because marching his troops in the direction of human cities is strictly forbidden. At this subjugation council, he will first secure dominion over the other demon lords and then obtain the rights to invade the monster country, Tempest. While trampling every country along the way, of course. As for the high-ranking devils of that country, he'll have Milim crush them. Were it a few days ago, he could have crushed them all himself, but due to their master's evolution, they all became devils and acquired greater power. At this point, Clayman lamented the fact that the first plan had failed. Well, he only had to rule over whoever remained after Milim was done with them. But suddenly the Shuten demon lord Raymaris requested that Slime Rimuru would be granted permission to attend. And strangely, he was given permission really quickly. Clayman tried to veto the request, of course, but, as if it was the most natural thing in the world, 3 other demon lords accepted it. Which caused all of Clayman's plans to fall apart. The Walpurgis banquet that he so painstakingly gathered now was home to his enemies. Nor could he run away from it. If the slime himself came, even if Clayman called for a subjugation, the battle would occur at the banquet. What to do? What should I do? Clayman desperately sought a way out of this predicament. This desperation was observed by Frey, who was smirking. What an unsightly man. Things were proceeding faster than she expected. Though she had not predicted this outcome, it was nonetheless to her favor. She looked at the expressionless Milim standing across from her. At her cute face completely void of any emotion. At her eyes, which suddenly looked elsewhere. At Frey. Frey nodded. Yes, that's right. I understand, Milim. She responded in her mind, with a profound smile. And Clayman, you will live not much longer. Frey was secretly confirming the upcoming plan. In an unknown land, in the innermost burial chamber. In front of a coffin wrought of ice which sealed a beautiful naked girl with flowing black hair. Stood a being, themselves nude, beholding the coffin with a suspicious gaze. Ah, how beautiful! Ah! Observing and adoring the coffin girl was this being's secret pastime. A silver-haired cute girl. Her heterochromatic eyes glistened with a bizarre red and blue light. This, among her many strikingly beautiful features, was the most prominent one. But perhaps what garnered the most attention were 2 pure teeth that peeked from within her small lips. When her small lips parted, they revealed a set of pure white fangs. She was the ruler of the night, queen of nightmares. Demon Lord Rumina's Valentine. Even she, a vampire possessing the immense power of a demon lord, could not break the ice coffin. As it was not actually made of ice but was a pure lump of Holy Spirit energy. So even touching the coffin would leave burn-like marks on her body. However, without any regard to this, she clung to the ice coffin. An invitation to attend Walpurgis banquet reached this girl. Unfortunately, many beings of comparable power would attend. Thus, she currently lacked the power to make them her enemies. Though this vexed her to no end, there was naught she could do. Wait for me. She whispered the name of the adored girl, and left the chamber. And gathering a vast amount of magical energy, she submerged the chamber in darkness. 2 men were in the middle of a conversation. The first was a large, sturdy man clearly known for his height. The other was slovenly lying down, without a hint of dignity. However, as this was his usual appearance, the former paid it no mind. So, how long will you be staying here? Will you set off on another journey after the Walpurgis banquet? No clue, Tilda. What a pain. Nothing excites me anymore, Tilda. To the large man's question, he replied without any motivation. But whichever. But surely you have no choice but to participate in Walpurgis banquet. So you might as well start considering what you will do afterwards. The large man concluded. And looked at the vast sky above as if enjoying the view. Minutes passed silently between them. Hey, Daggerul, do your sons feel like becoming a demon lord? I can take them under my care, if you'd like. The delicate man said as if he just remembered this idea. The large man. No, Daggerul closed his eyes for a minute and was deep in thought. One of the giants, this demon lord is often referred to as Continent's Wrath. Normally a gentle man, he finds the title unpleasant, but when angered he truly can't stop his hand. His power greatly increases when angered, so he's a demon lord treated with utmost care. And his most closest friend, the delicate man, has never once angered him. To the delicate man's words. Nah, they resemble me when I was young. They are rash, look down on everything, and believe that a being stronger than them does not exist. They would look down even on you, Dino. He replied. The delicate man's name is Dino. A man of unknown race with an appearance no different than a human. But, he possesses magical energy of such quantity that no human could possibly match. Though he is a handsome man, his sleepy gaze ruins his appeal. But he too is a demon lord, called the Wandering King or King of the Sleeping Forest. Even now, he has left his home and is in the middle of a journey. And having used up all of his strength during the journey, he ended up in the care of his best friend Daggerul. In response to Daggerul's words, I don't mind. My worth wouldn't diminish from such a thing. But if they are so impudent, how about you bring them over? You have 3 sons, so I can bring one of them in my name? He said. Of course, he meant to take them to the demon lord's Walpurgis banquet. Daggerul thought a bit on these words. And, can I ask this of you? If they act foolish and die without coming to know true power, then that's that. So showing them true strength would be an excellent lesson. He nodded. His 3 sons. Like him, they are a violent bunch. Agreeing to bring them, they continued the conversation with this in mind. However, bringing them there is much like starting a fire next to gunpowder, but these 2 failed to recognize it as such. After all, both of them were particularly bad at careful planning. In a land covered by ice where fierce blizzards reigned, proudly stood a tall castle. Its vicinity was covered in a barrier of ice, with temperatures of -120 degrees Celsius such that nothing could live there. And yet a beautiful castle adorned the land. Its presence testified to an unimaginable amounts of magical energy, truly a castle of the highest demon. The castle was named Palace of White Ice. And it was ruled by Demon Lord Guy Crimson. There was a being leisurely walking through the castle. Platinum gold long hair, blue narrow eyes. A well-defined face. Skin so white that it was almost transparent. He was so beautiful that he was surely mistaken for a woman. Demon Lord Leon Cromwell. The one called the Blonde Demon. He proceeded through the halls as if he owned them. Ahead of him was a door with beautiful carved decorations. It led to the audience chamber of the Lord of the Castle. Leon's purpose in attending was the Lord of the Castle, Demon Lord Guy Crimson. Leon stood in front of the door, and the 2 large attendant demons opened it. And Demon Lord Leon Cromwell Sama has arrived. A female-like demon announced the coming of Leon from above. On the inside, many powerful greater demons stood on the sides. Each was a named demon so greatly surpassed the power of a normal greater demon. There were over 200 of them in total. Named greater demons differ from normal ones as they possess a corporeal body in this world. So each could easily rival a high-ranking devil. In other words, the room had 200 beings of a rank easily surpassing A. But that's not all. At the end of the room, before the throne of Demon Lord Guy Crimson stood 6 demons of terrifying power. They were named archdemons. Their battle power was surpassed any devil. These were pseudo-demon lord level demons. But these 6 demon generals prevented any excessive word from going unpunished. Ruling over all of these as Demon Lord Guy Crimson's left and right hand were 2 demons. Having become demon officer, these 2 women serve as the Demon Lord's spokesman. They possess power that rivals that of Demon Lord. Demon Officer Mizari and Demon Officer Hirari. Leon proceeded further in and stood right below the throne. And that's where Mizari and Hirari kneeled, and Leon-sama, it has been a long time. At the same time they greeted Leon with a beautiful voice. And at the same moment, the lord of the castle stood up from his throne. Only the 2 demon lords now had the right to move within the room. It's been a while, my friend Leon. Have you been in good health? Let me thank you for coming over when I called you. A beautiful, projecting voice, deep crimson eyes which overshadowed the beauty of stars, hair flowing like fire, with a deeper red than the color of blood. Same height as Leon. Where Leon is as beautiful as a woman, Guy's beauty was more neutral. He could be called a woman or man, a bizarre physique. While calling out to him, he stood up from the throne and walked up to Leon. And after shaking Leon's hand, he gave him a hug. And without any hesitation, he placed his hand on Leon's face and kissed him. Leon pulled away with a scowl. Stop it. I'm not interested in dating men. How many times have I told you this already? He told him, treating it as a bother. Ahaha. Heartless as always. You know, if you ask, I'll become a woman. Whatever, let's move to a different room. He said, and without waiting started walking. This happened every time. He was exposing a lot of skin while dressing in a kimono in this frigid land. Perhaps remembering the taste of Leon's lips, a lewd smile formed on his bewitching face. And he started to work his tongue around his red lips. That motion had a suspiciously bewitching effect to it. Being androgynous, he could become a man or a woman at will. He, or perhaps she, is Demon Lord Guy Crimson, the lord of the castle and the oldest demon lord. Called the Lord of Darkness, he has forever ruled over this frozen continent. Guy proceeded onward, showing Leon the way. Leon followed without any sign of worry. Until both of them left the audience chamber, not a single being had moved. As that would have been an unforgivable act. With their heads bowed low, they waited until their master and guest had left. Having confirmed their departure, Mizari and Hirari stood up and disperse. They ordered their subordinates. As for them, they began to make tea for the guest. Among the highest beings of the castle, the job of these demon officials was nothing more than to care for Demon Lord Guy Crimson. And that job had the highest priority within the castle. So as to not earn the displeasure of their lord, they quickly got to work. Leon followed Guy to the ice terrace on the highest floor. Even though it opens up to the outside, snow is not permitted entry. The environment is optimized for life. In the first place, Guy is not affected by the environment. In other words, the room is made for Leon's enjoyment. Though Guy normally looks down on any stranger, for his friends he spends both effort or expense. Just like always, Leon thought, taking a seat. Though the chair he sat on was made of ice, he did not feel the cold. That too, was the routine. So? Why have you called me? Forcefully flopping into the chair, Leon asked. When did they have time to prepare it is uncertain, but Hirari brought in tea. Mizari silently stood at the entrance to the terrace. That too she did without anybody noticing. They stood as to not intrude upon Guy's conversation, and so, did not address Leon. The girls were nothing more than tools, after all. Since they had nothing to do with this conversation, they were not permitted to even show an expression unless ordered to do so. So any motion that was not specifically ordered of them would lead to certain and quick death. In fact, even if Leon attacked Guy, they would not move. Guy was their supreme master, so worrying over his health was disrespectful. Thus, ignoring their existence, they continued their discussion. "Ah. You do know about the upcoming Walpurgis banquet. I was thinking that if you couldn't attend this time, I'd forcefully have you attend." "Huh? You know I hate these gatherings? But I was planning on attending." "Oh? Good, then. I had planned on having you make a clone and attend that way. I could have you embrace me then. I don't take men for partners. Even among women I only go for the one I desire. For me to embrace you would be equivalent to some prize, wouldn't it? What's with that? Tell me that earlier. If you wish for it, I'll become a woman for you." "Whatever. So? Why did you decide to participate this time?" "Ah." Leon made a brief pause, but then continued talking. "This time the banquet is hosted by Clayman. Small fry. I'm curious why Millam is supporting him. And Carrion's death is also suspicious. At first it was because Clayman wanted to spur us on a subjugation, but then Raymaurice requested that the party in question attends. In other words, it's all connected. So I feel the need to see this new demon lord Rimuru." "Oh. So you believe Rimuru has the qualifications to be a demon lord, huh? How amusing, I thought the same thing. As for Millam, she's probably just playing around. No use trying to figure out what she's thinking. The wise one in me cannot understand fools. That might be a weakness. So it's fine to ignore the opinion of someone like Clayman." Raymaurice's opinion, on the other hand, seems promising. If she found someone interesting, maybe even I will enjoy myself. Raymaurice, huh? I'm no good with her. From the very moment we met, I had thought to go and kill her a few times. But since she mentioned it, I might as well go and see. Ha ha ha. Don't. If you kill Raymaurice, I'll be your enemy. Right. And I don't want to die yet. If you come at me, I see no chances for victory. Not at all. You have a 1 in a million chance of killing me, you know? Then that's no good. I'm only interested in fights that I can win. Stop with the humility. There's few people who can even hurt me. Having a chance to kill me means that you're strong. Have some confidence. HMPH. I am confident. Against anyone other than you, that is. That's where their conversation stopped. And without a moment passing. Era. Has your conversation finished? Leon-sama, I extend my humblest welcome. A voice like ice. And it came from a beautiful white-haired girl. Pure white skin, with cold and bewitching blue diamond-colored eyes. And bright white lips. A girl walking around without Guy's permission. But she did not need his permission. In other words, she was their equal. Ice Empress she was called, but is more known by her name Ice Dragon Velzado. She is one of the 4 dragons, and Demon Lord Guy Crimson's first subordinate. Though rather than calling her a subordinate, it may be more appropriate to call her a partner. An existence far different than the tools. My oh my, Velzado. Beautiful as always. Era? Even if it's only flattery, your words have made me happy. A brief polite exchange. That revealed none of their real feelings. HMPH. You guys are on bad terms as always. Guy as well was vexed at their animosity. Normally, this would have led to an unpleasant exchange. But this time, Velzado changed the topic. Right. My brother has awakened. She suddenly declared. Awakened? The sealed storm dragon Valdora? I know that he was sealed, but didn't they say he had been erased? Yes. He had quieted down before disappearing, so I thought to help him out. Being erased is pitiful, you know. He was trapped in an isolated space made by the hero that could not be influenced by the outside. Many beings have lost their lives swallowed by such barrier. Oh. Interesting. In that case, who could have dispelled this hero's seal? Unique skill eternal prison, other than by other heroes, could not be dispelled by a normal skill. I have the skill, and perhaps by your skill. Well, we had planned to release him sooner or later. But considering that he has not rampaged since being released, does that mean he has weakened? Yes. He has. The response I am getting from him is strangely weak. But still, not rampaging is quite unlike him. His very being is made around the concept of violence, after all. Well, in any case, I have no desire to fight Valdora. If you want to make him yours, do as you wish. Anyways, let's meet at the Walpurgis banquet. You are leaving already? Yeah. That's all you wanted from me, right? Wait a second. No need to rush. By the way, have you succeeded with the special summoning yet? Not yet. Frankly, I don't care much for new demon lords or whatnot. It's just, according to my sources, this one might be messing with my summoning tests. Oh? The one named Rimuru. Yeah. So I want to at least see him once. But I'll be ignoring Rimuri's, just so you know. Just curious, but who's this informant? No idea. Magic energy is an important factor when summoning world travelers. When I summon, since I try to narrow down the criteria as much as possible, the interval becomes much longer. At the present, I can only summon one being once every 66 years. But since I need to narrow down the criteria even more, my next summoning attempt will be in 99 years. This informant is trying out summoning in my place during this time. How timid of you. I've failed many times, you see. Even after obtaining luck blessing from Rimuri's, I couldn't succeed. Is this matter that important? Yeah. To me, it's more important than anything in the world. I see. In that case, I won't say anything. But about this assistant. Is he trustworthy? Trust? No way. But he does have some use. I see. I know I don't need to say this, but do be careful. That's not like you, guy. But, I'll accept the warning. Thanks. Now then, let's meet at Walpurgis banquet. Leaving these words, Leon left. Leaving only a ball of light behind due to spatial movement magic. Seeing this. What an impatient man. Well, that's just like him. Guy muttered while grimacing. But, he has created a dangerous opening. This unknown assistant, should I crush him? Velzato asked with a cold voice. Don't. Unnecessary actions will only earn Leon's displeasure. I have no desire to be hated by a friend. Guy answered, unworried. To Guy, Leon was a trustworthy friend, so these words were born out of familiarity with his personality. Moreover, he simply knew how powerful Leon's abilities were. When he comes asking, we'll help him. Understood. And that conversation ended. Guy confirmed that his stay-at-home friend will be attending. Even though he was called out without a care for his needs, Leon seemed not to mind. Guy as well had ignored the summons a few times, but could not remember why. Thus, after a long time, all the demon lords will gather. This banquet seems promising. Will you come? Will I? No, I won't. I have no interest in demon lords. Is that so? Oh well. In that case, I leave the house sitting to you. Yes. I'll make the necessary preparations. Velzato left after uttering these words. Guy, left behind, observed the aura of the icy continent, while thinking about the upcoming Walpurgis banquet. A crafty demon lord prowling around. A small fry, signifying the weakening demon lords. A shut-in friend who finally took action. Guy found this point interesting. And, the birth of a new demon lord. How amusing. He had felt the loud beating of his heart for the first time in many hundreds of years. The last battle was between weaklings. Perhaps he could look forward to the upcoming one. With that thought, he started thinking about the hero. When was the last time he had felt one? The one that invaded Leon's castle was also a hero. Leon ran away without fighting, claiming that the hero was strangely strong. It wouldn't be strange for a human to die of old age by now, but Raymaurice claimed that this hero was special. So it wouldn't be strange if it could extend its lifespan. Nor were its movements irregular, appearing only before powerful individuals. Guy had never been able to meet the hero, but would have wanted to try fighting it once. This time's fight might be grand. It may not involve only monsters, but have the saints and the humans mixed in, resulting in a great calamity. So perhaps even a hero will appear. At this point, Guy had completely forgotten about the new Demon Lord. To him, Demon Lords were a trifling existence. He desired to meet a hero. That thought brought a smile to his face.